that when you say, hey, they should have won, then usually if a team's having fun in a lot of these games, that's when they go into this third one and they're like, all right, try hard mode. We're ending this game as quickly as possible. Let's see what kind of powerful picks we can get, especially because we are having a swapping of sides. Jordan is going to be on red side, and they've taken away that Cassiopeia real quick from Skip.
Yeah, why not, right? Take it away. It was a very consistent problem. Zach and the Blitzcrank are two other options that you could probably look at for the bans, and I think that is pretty standard for them. I don't think you're worried about a blue side Palestine going for the Nico Slam in their first pick or anything like that. Syndra is actually going to be the ban here after the Lee Sin. Learned their lesson from game number 1, how much they value that Syndra. And again, a lot more focus going towards the jungler of Jordan.
Kind of like they did in game 1, where it was the Lee Sin Wukong banned away by Palestine on red side. The only adaptation is the Lucian, making its way through the draft at the moment with Syndra being banned and Orange. The final one by Jordan, really leaving out a lot of powerful picks.
They have been hard winning against these Orns. I think, maybe Zero's just sick of it.
Yeah.
Sick of the matchup, playing against too many Orns, give me some carries, some top lane, something a bit more volatile, but plenty of tanks still up there. Cassante, I think, is a pretty free option here for both of these teams as a first pick, but I do not know what Palestine will pick. I simply cannot tell you what that will be. I cannot predict their draft. They are unreadable.
Zion
was never predicting them.
Probably the most normal thing you've ever seen them draft first two.
As a first pick, yeah, probably is.
Yeah.
I mean, sets up this interesting follow-up draft here from Jordan with Rakan as a point of priority. I don't think you need it. You can just
Melio Lucian.
bot lane.
No,
Melio Lucian bot lane.
Because Butcher's been spamming that
Yes,
as much as they can.
I
think you slam Melio Nico here. Lucian final pick before the next round of bans.
You could even go for a jungler depending on priorities. I like what you just highlighted though. Melio is the definite factor in that. Seen the Xayah matchup, so they know what they want to play as an ADC into it. They will opt into the Aphelios this time around.
Still not horrible.
Still quite very powerful. One of the S-tier ADCs running around.
Yeah, so having that locked in here with the Melio.
Rakan Viego.
Rakan Viego.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be very nice and very standard.
What if instead?
Rakan's got to be the pick.
Galio.
Rakan's got to be the pick.
Mordekaiser.
We have seen the Mordekaiser, and I saw you drop your pen this time.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, you dropped your pen this time, not me.
Yeah, I was just shocked by Trundle. I hope it's a support.
Kind of too much.
That'd get me going. That gets me excited,
I'm kind of with that one.
They are nerfing Font of Life interactions with Echoes of Helios, so Trundle support is going to last one more patch.
Use it now. Use it while you can.
While you can. And I tell you what, if they do lock that in, I'm changing my predictions. I'm full bias to Palestine. Told ya.
Yeah. Seems that Ashbar got one note, and that's Galio.
It almost feels like this team doesn't actually have a support. They're just making it work. You know what I mean? Like, this is a team that may not actually have a dedicated support main in the main 5. And so they just play their drafts where this Galio, who's an AP mid lane Galio player, is just comfortable mechanically on the pick.
Yeah.
Right? And they're just putting him in the bottom lane.
There it is.
With the Nico response, we finally get to see the Nico again. I don't think that's too surprising.
Not one
by
bit.
any means.
It's what we expected, right? Team Jordan going into this one a lot more serious. They got Melio, Aphelios, Nico, incredibly powerful picks in the meta by any standards, by themselves, let alone all three on a team.
Also, quite simply, the Trundle being blind picked as presumably a jungler. I know it can be flexed to top lane, but picking that into someone where a Graves can be easily picked, right? The Graves player, Kindred could be easily picked.
I think you just ban away some of the junglers. No, Cassante.
They are making it harder for themselves, and that's why I think maybe Trundle is a top laner. But they're blue side, so the flex has to be revealed sooner or later. Right, that's where they're going to put that champion. For the side of Jordan, I don't think you're really hard pressed with like a lack of top lane champions or solo lane champions. Nico's obviously not flex, so I would not be mad at a top lane pick here. I think I'd be preferential to it. With Cassante, Gragas, Malphite on there.
Well, the thing is, you can just grab the jungle too for Jundat and then hold on to the counter pick. And we know how deep Zero's Shampoo goes. So even with something taken away like the Hecarim, that, aiming at the jungle, I'm still looking at what Jundat likes to play. Kindred, that screaming Kindred right now.
Poppy owns Galio, but not really anything else in terms of champions that he has played so far. I've seen a fair bit of Xin in this tournament, but I don't think we'll get the Xin. It's going to be the Rek'Sai, okay. So not fully aware of the matchup. Rek'Sai is also one of those champions on patch 13.11 that is a bit more of a bruiser than is an assassin.
Yeah.
So loves a good brawl, has got the Nico to back it up, right? So utility is going to be there through the ADC is a sometimes food and the mid laner all the time.
Yep.
I would like a tank top laner. Plain and simple for Zero. I will know the matchup soon though.
Again, this is looking like the most normal draft we've seen out of Palestine so far. I know your eyes are going wide, but I'm expecting that Trundle...
Oh no, they just barely stayed open, mate. Don't worry about it.
Yours are barely staying open.
Yeah.
I gotta wake up at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, no, you've got it rough.
Yeah.
Olaf.
So that is gonna be Trundle jungle, bot lane, Zaya, Galio. Maybe Annie could be there, but no, more than likely gonna be mid.
Yeah, so again, expected lanes, as far as the champions picked are concerned, the only thing we have difficulty with now with Palestine is which players are playing what.
True. Also, technically, Olaf could go into the jungle.
Jax, I like this.
Jax. Actually, it's solid.
Yeah, so we see an Olaf not into tanks. Olaf's best matchups are usually tank champions because you obviously can't be stunned.
Yep.
But you have some true damage you can chuck down there, right? You've got really good chase potential as well as wave control. Jax is one of those champions, right, that'll still take damage from the axes that you throw out. Will still take damage when you use your E, but at the same time is a scaling champion that at a certain point you don't actually get to 1v1 against, right? So there's always going to be that threat in the side lane. And in team fights, because there is no tanks that you're running through, everything can kill you.
Right.
So it's a really difficult game, a really difficult draft to be the Olaf in. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that pick, to be perfectly honest with you. And Trundle is the other frontline choice for them to work with what was an AP Galio last time. I feel like they're so fragile now that they can just be run through.
And it's also really difficult for Palestine as well because they have a team comp that can be kited really easily outside of Olaf. Trundle, Galio, Annie, got a lot to work through in order to get to where Olaf is going to be.
Yeah, not going to be high on the priorities. I mean, flanks maybe could be an angle to look towards if there's one thing this team does have. Also, you know, Galio really likes dive champions. But Galio loves a Camille. That's like your staple, your bread and butter combo. Why does Galio like Camille? She dives and she locks someone in your ult circle.
Yep.
This team does not have that. This team has maybe a Flash Annie, but it has an Olaf with Ghost that just slowly meanders towards the fly. You're not going to Galio ult that. Trundle's the same. They both just have movement speed, and so does Annie primarily.
At that rate, you're probably just more likely to ult the Zaya if everyone's getting on top of her.
So it's just going to be an anti-Nico tool.
Yeah.
That's probably what you're looking at right now. Nico tries to engage you, Galio ult, give everyone a magic shield, and then try and counteract some of that burst to give yourself a fighting chance. But that means they're going to have an impossible time going forwards. And Olaf's not a kiting champion. Nope. Olaf's a chase down champion. Because you want to collect the axes that you've thrown, not run away from them.
Rusty for the last time today, but only the second time in the road to Asian Games. We are in Game 3. Team Jordan, Team Palestine, loading up onto the Rift. And looking over at Team Jordan, this is the meta that we've been seeing from almost every region. The Nico, the Milio, the Felios, even the Jax and Rek'Sai could be argued.
Yeah, a lot of attention towards the jungle champions for bans means that Trinidad had a tough choice of champions. Goes for this Rek'Sai. Really good at zone control, right? Being able to use the tremor sense to find people is going to be invaluable when you're looking for skirmishes or you're trying to track the enemy jungler. Trundle is one of those champions that also cannot skip movements or movement patterns, right? Can't Shaco jump over a wall like a Rek'Sai can. So it's more predictable, more obvious, and a lot easier to find with that tremor sense. In terms of lanes themselves, though, I do feel like Milio ruins Galio.
Yep.
It's not even remotely funny how ruined you get.
Ruins Galio, ruins Annie, ruins Trundle. All of them.
Yeah, I mean, slow chase down champions, you just get hit with a soccer ball, but Galio can't even justice punch, right? So, again, I'm struggling to see a way that isn't an Annie Flash Tibbers, that allows them to win these fights.
And even then, you got to slowly meander into the fight after the anti-stun. So I kind of look at this one. I think it is going to be, it's going to be on the flashes for Team Palestine here. Flash, super stun, flash, taunt from Ajbar as well afterwards, because you actually can charge it up a little bit after you flash in, because the stun should last long enough. But
Flashes and flanks, right?
Right, and that's difficult. It's difficult to rely on, especially because you look over at Team Jordan. They have so many tools to deny you from engaging while they themselves have great tools to engage.
Yeah, they have basically the Exodia comp. Skip going to use his stun there in mid lane, has absolutely zero priority in this lane as the Nico just hits that one home, hasn't used the potion yet. In the driver's seat in the 1v1-0. Briefly look towards top lane, look at the CS difference between them, is seemingly doing quite well in his 1v1 for now. Olaf constantly has threat though, as Crunk walks mid.
Gonna have that root there on the Skip.
And that's it.
Invincible doesn't even need to flash, barely needs to walk away. The top lane's actually a lot more of a skirmish than we expected, because that's gonna be the Counter-Strike done, and first blood solo polo for 0.
Yeah, very simple solo for him. He's able to hold the Counter-Strike that entire time, and Olaf walks into melee range. While that was still available to be used, Jundat looking at Crunk right now, looking at the blue bar. What was it, Krug? Knows that he's there.
Waiting for the burrow. For the tunnels, even calling
Jax
0.
is here. Here they go.
Oh no, Crunk, this is looking bad right now. You're able to get the smite secure on that one, but he had to flash away. So flash burned from Crunk. He will get his blue buff. A lot burned just to get out.
Zero may have been auto-pathing there as well, a little bit tragic for him. You watch this play top one more time. Again, the Ghost. What does it provide you when the Jax is already in melee range?
Yep.
Ghost doesn't even delay the inevitable. You stay in range. Invincible, 0 mana to his name, but has got the push, has got the crash.
I think he's got a lot of stacks on like Grumping Pot as well. Just popped it too.
So he'll be good. He'll be all right.
I'll get some mana back, waited it out as well.
And kind of the expected start to this game overall, right? You're not expecting an Aphelios and Emilio to be losing their lane. You're expecting priority for the Nico in mid lane, and you're expecting the Jax to have more of a fighting chance against the Olaf than tanks will traditionally in their respective 1v1.
Oh no, and they're putting up a camp on Palestine top lane. Got to be livid about this one. Like you said, no flash, only the Ghost. No escape at all, and another kill for 0.
And that is devastating for him. Such a large wave that you're seeing as well with no teleport. I actually might have liked to see Jundat just hard push the wave to make sure it crashes, right, and everything gets missed. But the Olaf is going to have to walk regardless and may still miss a whole chunk of that and is struggling. And Jax with a bounty 4 minutes in.
2 kills as well.
Sitting pretty.
Completed. I mean, I played the Olaf into Jax matchup, and you only win level 1, and you have to hard in. You have to go for it.
You have to hit the axe immediately, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
that is literally your only opportunity until after 6. So you take a look at this, and this is just, it's clinical.
It is, and it's devastating for Palestine. Like you said, the best winning chance you have might be level 1.
Right there, they're just going to rinse and repeat this every time because you're so susceptible.
And that wave that we said they might want to push to crash, why not push it slower and just come back and dive him, huh?
Right.
Bad day in the office for this Olaf.
That
seems
3
like
kills for 0, and it's only 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, it seems like Jordan want to go to bed early.
A little upset from that last game.
I think they regret game 2. And they are putting on an actual clinic, like you just said. Pushing all their lanes. Oh my god, the pre-cleanse. Go off, King.
Looking for this spot lane play onto Casper. He flashes out of there, and look at the damage they have. Ashbar is just taken so low. Yusuf could barely do much to Casper.
He thought he had Ghost, by the way. 100% thought he had Ghost.
I think so, too.
Instant pop to dodge the Galio stun after
That's
the Justice
100% you think you have Ghost, and you realize you have Cleanse, and you're like, oopsie.
Doesn't mean the Cleanse was used. It would have been a Ghost used regardless. We come back to live scenes here at the Drake Pit, where Crunk is in an epic 1v1, but because he's Trundle,
he'll never die.
He'll get all of his health back.
And he'd never die. It's Trundle. It's Trundle. But still, as fun as it is to look at the bot lane, this truly is a game where it's just going to be focusing on top lane. See how far ahead 0 can get.
Look at the Rek'Sai.
The Rek'Sai.
I'm pretty sure was spotted on a ward.
Level 5 still for Palestine.
Question mark ping put on his head. You can see the Counter-Strike come through. It's to push this wave, and it is to push the wave.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Ward's dead.
Don't run.
Where are you going to go?
Yeah.
Where are you going to go?
What are you going to do, too?
There's
You're running
no
away.
support. No reinforcements.
That's another plate that Zero's going to pick more gold.
And he can't teleport.
You can't teleport. You're losing experience. You're now 2 levels down to Jax.
And it's not like Jundat's not farming either.
Yeah. He's just farming that up. And now, because you tried backing in that brush, that's going to be a free kill for Zero. He doesn't even need the help of Jundat. He can chase that down.
Job's done. Mischief managed. Zero goes back to his lane. May actually has got the wave crashed once again, and we'll just be able to get the rest of these minions. Top lane has been completely conceded, but still Palestine staying a little bit too close to the sun. And you can see what happens when you stand too close to it. He gets burned big time. Rek'Sai is still here, by the way. Scuttlecrab to be picked up by him regardless, but they use the body. Hello.
Oh,
hello.
now it's Crunk's
Hello.
turn.
Crunk. Good sweeper. Very good sweeper.
Very good sweeper there.
Bot's
Bot
dead.
lane,
Bot's
hello. Mid lane also, Invincible was able to get a kill, but it was traded back. So everything kind of going a little hectic there for Jordan. Top lane still absolutely crushing it.
Palestine mid. He's found a place to farm.
Ah, there you go.
If our mid lane is trade 1-for-1, I catch that wave. That's king business.
Is that why they send Crunk top lane? Because
Crunk is top laning, yeah.
You're just like, all right, it's Trundle. He's really hard to kill. He gets the dominance off.
True. Level 6.
Subjugate.
Subjugate helps a lot. Mid lane trade, see what happens here. Tibbers gets dropped. Invincible.
But Invincible got out of this one. So what happened after this?
I am simply... Oh, okay.
Oh, he just wanted to be fancy about it.
Yeah, he just did that thing. That Nico thing.
Yeah, he just wanted to be fancy
about it. Did you see the LEC the other day? Because Caps did that.
Yeah.
I'm getting weird deja vu
with
moments.
the ward.
Yeah, you're invisible, you flash. They can't see you. They can't predict it. It was one of those memes that was like, we've changed Galio so that he can't flash W because there's no counterplay. But Nico.
Flash ult.
It could do all of that and be invisible.
Because even with that kill, Invincible did trade back and forth. It's still a Nico lane. You come back in the lane, you push it pretty far. Skip can't really do anything. That means you get this easy Rift Herald because top lane's also winning.
That Rift Herald could also be placed top lane to break the turret, and I do think we're going to have one of those games where you don't even bother about the rest of your map. It's a win more situation.
You just say, all right, Zero Curious, please. Thank you.
Genuinely, what I would do if I was Jordan strategically in this situation is I would let Zero take the turret 1v1.
Yeah.
And then I would bring Nico up and 3-man the second turret. And
that's not
yeah.
That's not a bad shout right there. That's a good play.
Because like permanent prio in mid, right? Like that's certainly viable. Hello.
Oh no.
You better scream.
He's got his Ragnarok to get away, but now that's popped. That's a lot of minions. They could rinse and repeat for this one. Palestine, where can you go? You got no escape, no home to go to. And it's an easy kill. Unstoppable Zero.
Let him recall. Good. He almost stopped it.
I saw that too.
Invincible playing as minions permanently right now, seeing if Skip makes a single mistake. At least the last trade was a 1-for-1. Trundle invading the enemy jungle, doing the best that he possibly can. Top lane is over.
It is. You feel bad for Palestine on this one too, because what can he do? The turret's not his home. He's TPing to it.
Yeah.
And it's not your home, as Jundat will find Crunk in his home.
Milio on
trying
the way.
To take away his stuff.
No, it's Nico.
That's
Nico
a lot of damage with the Subjugate. Heroic entrance. The Trundle's still difficult to kill. The flash coming in from the Trundle, but now the rest of Jordan collapsing. Even if it's a trade of jungler for jungler. Look at Casper, still alive. The Nico does not get the pop blossom onto anybody, but they got enough damage onto Ashbar as they lose Casper in the fight. Butcher's gone too. Invincible. The Thorns work, but look at Zero, because Zero is going to be the hero. Looking for Yusuf as well. That's a lot of damage, even with the Feather Call. Ooh. It is going to kite out Zero.
Has no ward, does he?
He's got the jump flash. That's it. Dominating Jax.
If nothing else, this buys a lot of time for the Olaf to actually push and crash in the wave top lane, and will get himself a lot of gold in a devastating situation. Palestine actually get, I feel like, a favorable trade simply because of the trade.
Yeah.
You watch this back one more time, and again, mechanically, like, they actually play this one out fine. It's the mistakes from the Jordan side, right? Get yourself knocked up by the Galio ulti, but the Zarya comes in, hits the flash R, and recalls those feathers to get the kills. Casper tries to survive, but the Nico Pop Blossom goes into a stopwatch again. And then Skip hits the Flash Tibbers. They do a lot of things right here. But quite simply, they cannot contend with Zero, who very smartly hits the Blast Cone there as well. Doesn't have a ward to jump to, but does have the flash, and will be able to cover the distance to get himself that kill.
And going top lane, guess what he does? Kills Palestine again. So Palestine, that top lane.
You herald now.
Yeah,
you herald for the inner.
Yo, 100%.
They're doing Drake. You genuinely actually just herald for the inner and make sure that Olaf dies off respawn by bringing the Nico up.
Yeah, seriously. Yep, that's what they're doing. Right away. They can get a better turret off this too?
Depends. We'll look at top.
That's going to be another charge for Shelly.
Not going to be the turret, I don't think. It's just going to be the charge. We'll see how they play. Annie has freedom to move right now. He's half health, but has freedom to move.
Yeah, but there's no CP for Palestine, so that's going to be a charge. And Zero, he's just going to dive again. Palestine, pop Ragnarok, but does it really matter? Actually, he doesn't even have that. He just dies.
Oh,
So Skip's
dead.
going to be the next target as Zero waits out, but doesn't go for the ward hop, instead saying, hey.
Nico's on the way, though, so is Skip alive?
Oh, let's see.
Jack's hunting, Nico hunting, really quick recall from the Annie,
Oh,
changes his mind, runs away.
Runs away.
But the turret falls.
Turret does fall. Okay, he will live, but the turret falling, Jordan gaining so much. This bot lane is a non-factor. There is nothing to really focus on this bot lane, even though that is where Palestine have actually gotten leads from.
Well, they based, right? So in plain vision, Jordan could just continue to push if they wanted to, right? They haven't cleared any vision. They haven't really needed to do anything on Summoner's Rift right now, but let the Jacks win harder and not die. Stay stable. Get the replay of the fight in top lane. Palestine, Ruffy just gets stunned up and really good aggro juggling here once again from Jundat. Rek'Sai played very nicely from him. He's going that bruiser build as well.
Yeah, as expected. And Zero is so far ahead, he has a BF sword.
He's a 700 gold value. He's 8-0.
Plates haven't even fallen, and he's already gotten the inhibitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you have this in solo kill, that's a GG go next.
This is a situation where Yusef is looking at Zero, and I don't think you want this
I
fight.
don't think you want
There's
this.
three. There's three.
Waiting for the counter strike. Getting a lot of damage, actually. Gonna get the shutdown. Palestine, that's gonna be huge.
And that's a huge mistake from Zero, to be honest. His team's pushing the mid lane out of turret. You don't have to do everything yourself.
No, I mean, his team will get that turret, so at least they do get something back on the map. But that amount of a shutdown picked up for Skip here. 4-1 on Annie with 1,000 gold gifted over to her.
Exactly right. And if you're the one person on the team that is fed right now, majority of the gold is in your pockets, you don't want to give 1,000 gold to someone that can kill the rest of your team.
Exactly, and we were talking about the win conditions for Palestine, right? It is going to be how Skip plays these. Flash forwards, but Invincible going to look for this play on the bot lane onto Yusef. It is difficult when you have to deal with the Galio always showing up to save the day.
Ajbar really not recognizing his limits right now. That flash was egregious. Purple weapon mid, they've locked him down.
Lockdown Skip. Picked up the Annie. Even if it was a little bit of damage back on the Casper, Dundet just has way more.
Just a bit too far up in mid lane. There was nothing for him there in the first place. They don't have enough priority in top lane to be that far up. Goes down just a little bit out from the turret. That's all it takes right now, and they will punish you instantly. Still has a bounty on him. Jack's after that shutdown too. Another 200 gold. That's how far ahead he is.
Yeah, the fact that it wasn't fully reset because
Shojin, right?
Shojin, 100%. And now I think he's playing a little bit more cautiously. Before that last death, he would have gone for that play. They're realizing, hey, all right, the team's going for other plays across the map. We got Nico pushing bot lane. We have a little bit of a slow push mid lane. Jundat was on Rift Herald. So let's play clinical, let's play clean. Kind of what we expect from Jordan going into this game, despite it.
Where are you going, Cry? Yeah.
Clear that out. Goes back to Ashbar.
Oh. You know what I am thinking about this game is I would not be surprised to see a Herald end the game in top.
Yeah.
If they put more attention to bottom, right, like say for example the Drake is up in a minute and 4 people perhaps from Palestine commit to that play, Rek'Sai and Jax can win. Right now they're not going to play that way, right? They're going to generate money for the whole squad. Very valid way to play this out.
Yeah.
Break the bot lane out of turret with the Rift Herald. Maybe look for an inner turret as well down there. Do not give over the Drake because it is the 3rd one of the game for Palestine. They made that mistake last game. They'll be much more methodical in their approach this time.
A lot cleaner gameplay. Even if there's been a couple mistakes here and there, they still have a huge deck. Now he's got that Fear of Sojin completed as well. So it's going to bring even more pain. Has a blue buff. So look at that. Look at how Skip has to play. So far back, even with Crunk there, they just don't have that power, and that's why they just summon Rift Herald in the spot lane.
Skip's just not using abilities right now. He's not threatening the stun.
No wave clear either.
Just sitting there with one charge.
That's going to be that tier 2 fall in real quickly. With Zero playing far forward, they have to just forfeit it.
Yeah, they're going to disengage to the Drake. Meanwhile, mid lane, a Xayah and a Galio. The Galio with no flash because of the play he made earlier.
Either. Oh, no.
I don't know if they get the kills. I think they just dissuade them and take the Drake for free. But at the same time, they're trading with top. And this is a tower bounty and a tower shutdown, so they're still trying to get money where they can. Palestine, I mean, that's going to be his one job in this game. Would not be shocked to see a hull breaker or a full tank.
Ooh, Zero caught in the trap right there. Even with Counter-Strike, can't stop a lot of the lockdown on the other side. But Skip was able to find a pick onto Butcher in jungle, in the river.
And again, what for? Right? Like, what are we doing there? What is there? There is nothing there.
Red team has slain the dragon.
2 minions just walking down mid lane because they can. Because it was invincible all along. Meanwhile, pushing top lane, taking the turret. Teleports are going to come through from Jax and Nico to top lane.
Stop it! No, doesn't actually go for the Q. So now Zero and Invincible are both here. Yusef realizing there's no Feather Storm anymore that you can rely on. So you're easy pick'ems with all that damage on the other side, so they can jump in and pick up all the gold necessary to get a stun on Asbar. Double kill for Zero.
I will still say, as a result, Palestine take that. That is 2 turrets in top lane worth bounties for the trade of 3 people's lives. That opens up the map a lot. So
Right.
this is one of those situations, right? Like, we're trying to make the best of it. It's a 10-1 Jax who is just absurdly far ahead. But this is one of those fights where you just got 2 teleports out of both side laners. You've broken 2 turrets and got 2 bounties for it. I don't think you're upset. I think if you're the Olaf, you're happy.
Yeah, I mean, also you don't reset the gold on yourself. You're still 0 and 8.
Yeah, it's still 0 and 8.
Literally worth no gold killing you.
Palestine, yeah, you're 0 and 9.
About to be 0 and
Oh,
9.
actually, he's
Or
alive.
is he?
Oh.
Flash away. Flash is all over the place, but it is going to be Butcher, the first target. And even with the breath of life, it wasn't his own life that he breathed life into.
Butcher gone again. Flash available for the Milio. Butcher gone. Gets locked down.
Things are onto the inhibitor
Still
by...
here. They say skip, you go now.
Go for it.
Ooh,
No stun either.
slow.
Waiting
Here
for
they
it.
go,
There
here
it
they go.
is. Going to get the knock up into the Counter-Strike stun, so there's no counter play for Skip.
They bide their time. They've got the wave pushing in right now as well. Trundle dealing with top lane means it's just these 2. Flashless Galio once again almost off cooldown. Skip used his flash earlier to try and get the kills as well. Nicely dodged by Casper. Lots of 1s in the scoreline of 0 at the moment. That's exciting.
Yeah. 1-1-1-1.
1-5-1 here. Nice.
With
Baron.
that, they go for the Baron. All right, they saw Kronk on the Raptors. They saw him pass down that way. They know where he's at, so they can immediately go for this one. Palestine just don't have anything left in the tank at this point to actually fight back.
They're very free objective. 20 minutes in, 20-minute Baron. Happy with that one. Jack's going to stick around. He can defend the waves, not going to let them split push to their entirety. Palestine, to the completion of this game, I would be surprised to see him anywhere that isn't a side lane split pushing up until he only has his base to hide in.
Look, I, again, play top lane. I played
the
every
bounty.
role. I played every role, and
Get that
whenever I
bounty.
fall behind
No.
as a top laner, this is what I do. You just go for the full split push. We got the late game. Let me backdoor.
Since the introduction of shutdown bounties on towers as well, it's even more viable, right? Like,
Yeah,
there's
it's
more
genuine.
value.
Yeah. And I think at this point, when you got hard camped as Olaf, you were having a terrible time in the 1v1, and then Jundad showed up as well to make it even worse. You just hard commit to these side lane plays. Get that hull breaker and never, ever team fight.
Jundad about to be spotted, but Crunk is a Trundle who cannot actually stop you from escaping unless you try and cancel the burrow.
Which you can do, it's just difficult. Right now, Palestine,
Skip hunting, skip.
no stun.
Misses.
It's a blind attempt there. But the Baron's still on the head of Jordan. They're getting a lot of waves pushing at the same time.
It's a support dealing with the Jax right now.
Because who else can? They really just can't send anyone by themselves to deal with the Jax, and because you've sent 3 now there,
Oh,
gives a little bit of free time
died.
mid lane, as Palestine is hunting down, chasing down Jordan a little bit, but you got to take a lot of damage for it.
Well, I tell you what, he gave it his best. That's what it's about, right? He gave it his best.
Did, but
Defending top, losing bottom.
right, I was about to say, and mid 2, everything, all fronts being attacked by Team Jordan. Team Palestine, they've got to answer something, because eventually they're just going to lose the entirety of the base. Because bot lane's gone, mid lane's gone, top lane is what you decide to answer with, but you're getting kited back by Zero and Jundad at the moment, and you're continuing to chase this, and it's not working. Look at the base. That's still being attacked as Palestine. He's got no damage. He's got no way to fight back against Casper, which means now you've lost mid lane as well. That inhibitor threatened by Team Jordan. The blue light vigil not going to connect, but they got a lot of damage even with the Justice Punch. Doesn't matter because look at Zero into the back line, taking a kill onto Annie, even if the heroic engine tried to deny it. The pop blossom. That is the nail in the coffin for Palestine. The Team Jordan will rinse them in the fight.
22 minutes in the game will just crest over to 23 minutes, and Jordan, they want to wrap it up. They want to go home. They had enough. They gave 1 game away, but they're not going to give away 2.
No, not at